Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler, and I am live in San Francisco. And yes, I'm talking softly tonight. Everybody's asleep. We just got back from Logan's birthday party. My little baby Bubba turned 13 today. Holy shit. You want something? It's bad enough. I just had a birthday. I mean, I'm glad I had one. It's awesome to have a birthday because you're having a birthday. But mine was like 49, and then my kid's turning 13, and my oldest is 22. And yeah, I'm feeling a little old today. A little more gray hairs in my beard. Shit. So not going to talk about any major nerdy stuff tonight. We're going to talk about the future of the channel. But we could talk about for a little while what you guys want to talk about. And I see you there in the chat. Feisty Fan, how's it going? Felipe Diaz, Andy Beekman, CD Horde, Mako, and Grove Lane. How are you? Ken Jack Ben, how's it going? Hound 3000. I thought I'd be talking to myself, but I thought it was important to talk to you guys because a life-changing event happened today. I mean, I've been hinting at it for many months, and it happened a little. What's up, Jody? It happened a little sooner than I wanted it to, but you know what? Sometimes it's kind of like risky business. I sometimes you got to say what the fuck. Make your move. Anti-Trekker, I was waiting for you to finish. That's why I was hanging out. How's it going? Hey, nerd, just finished my stream. Good to see you picking up the late night. Yes, the late night folks. It's good to see you, Anti-Trekker. And by the way, check out the Anti-Trekkers channel. It is fucking awesome. The guy is brilliant. He is a true Trekker. I say Trekkie. I'm kind of like, I'm down with the Trekkies, but whatever you want to call yourself, he's an expert. He's where you want to go for Star Trek, and had a great video on the Stage 9 fiasco that I highly recommend you all go see. Very well reasoned out. Doomcock and Anti-Trekker both have great videos on the whole Stage 9 thing. Stage 9 got shut down by CBS. It was bullshit. But Anti-Trekker took a very logical approach to it, and Doomcock took a very emotional approach to it, and both are right. Both are totally right. And it's fucked up. And you're welcome. You're welcome, Anti-Trekker. So yeah, okay, so the plan all along, since I sold my comic store, was to come back to it someday, because it's kind of unfortunately, it's what I'm best at, and it's where I fit in the most. And for the last 5 years, I went back to my previous profession to work there. Very grateful to do so. Jumped around a couple jobs. They paid very well. Very grateful that they took me on. But it became really clear after 5 years that I don't really fit in well with corporate America. I'm not like a rah company guy. And what's up, Persian Scribe? So I tend to be, especially because I used to be a boss, and sometimes it's hard to turn that shit off. Yeah. And I just, since day one, I've had kind of problems with authority. So, it was just, I was there, I was grinding, I did my job, but I was miserable. I was freaking miserable. So I called it today. I bounced. And it's 2 months earlier than I planned to do so. And Mrs. Nerdrotic and I talked. We are going to go ahead with starting the comic shop. So while I cannot legally, due to my contractual obligations, sell comics in San Francisco till December 15th, 2018, because that is where the 5-year non-compete I have with Brian Hibbs, who bought my shop. Now, Brian Hibbs and I did talk recently about the possibility of buying my old shop back. I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and I'm not going to go back. I don't want to go back. I've been there, done that. And I want to do something a little different, a little more low key. But yeah, amidst all these comic shops closing, there's going to be one opening in the next 3 months. So yeah. And that also, what that means for the channel is I'm going to be focusing a lot more on the channel. The channel is clearly part of this whole plan. Now, it started out, it was just going to be a little podcast that I was going to do from the shop and, talk about comic books and stuff, but it's turned into, so yes, I am in San Francisco. You grew up in Santa Rosa, lovely town, Santa Rosa. It's, houses used to be affordable in Santa Rosa up until about 2 years ago. Anti-trucker. It's ridiculous now. So, yeah, I'm going to do it. I feel like today it's been weird. It feels like there should be some fanfare or something like that, but no, it was just like, thank you, Feisty Fan. It felt kind of shitty, walking out on them without any notice and stuff like that. But, you look at it this way, when they want to get rid of you, do they give you 2 weeks notice? Nah, they don't. And my work was suffering. The channel was, I wouldn't be able to focus on the channel at all, or even getting the shop ready, which is, I'm going to need all 3 months to get the shop ready, get stuff going, get all that, get business licenses and all that shit. It's going to take time. Plus I plan to hit a few cons before then too. So it looks like I will be in San Antonio at the end of October. If there's still spaces available, I'm going to check it out, but that's the plan. That's going to be the first con we're going to hit. Alamo City, going to go to Texas. So the show will be on the road a lot, but I'm not going to be missing anything. Now, apologies for tonight. We were supposed to cover The Good Place, and that was for Dennis, and I felt bad because like he really wanted to cover that show, but my son's birthday party went a little long. So yes. And you know what? How's your father? He says, so you turned your gun and badge into Elon. I did. It was the words of Elon that really clicked it in. He did a speech for SpaceX recently, and we get to see all of his speeches. They email them to us and stuff. And towards the end of his speech, he talked about, the thing that's most important here is the importance of the mission and how you feel about it. You got to be really into it. And if you're not, then you need to go follow your own mission. And I'm like, you're right, Elon. You're absolutely right. I do. I ain't gonna lie. Things got weird at work, and there's a lot of chaos going on. I mean, Tesla's gonna be fine. They're gonna work their kinks out and stuff. But they're a new company that's just gotten into the auto industry, and they thought they could roll in and just change it overnight, and shit doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So it's going to be a long time till they're like, running, completely perfect, but they're doing good enough now. They're doing good work. We need electric cars. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And SpaceX fucking rocks. And I still love Elon. I do. I really do. It was more of a, it's me, it's not you breakup. But, yeah, the only thing, today was payday. I just wanted to make sure I got paid, and then I was out. And yeah, so if anybody's watching from work, I won't be in tomorrow. Daniel's hot tub. Have you heard that there could be a new Halloween TV series with Mike Myers? I hope it happens. That'd be cool. We need more horror TV series, and I am a fan of television. Okay, I used to be a movie fan. And I just think, aside from the Marvel movies, they're just kind of meh. And I think the most interesting writing, the most interesting shit going on right now is in television. Great example is Maniac. A Maniac would have been 10 years ago, like a little artsy movie that they would have tried to cram way too much into. But they put it on Netflix. They made it 10 episodes long, and it is trippy and fun and sad and funny all at once. Jonah Hill did a great job. Emma Stone did one of the best performances of her career. Like, highly recommend you watch it. But you got to be a fan of that kind of trippy stuff like Legion or stuff like that, or you might not like it. Did I throw a Bon Voyage party? No, Philip A. Demick, I think some of, honestly, my bosses will be very happy to see me gone. I could be a bit of a pain in the ass. I ask all those questions like, why are we doing this? That doesn't make sense. Stuff like that. But the whole reason they brought me in was because I was experienced in that field, and then they didn't want to listen to a goddamn thing I said. So that's fine. That's fine. That's cool. So I humbly suggest that you tie the channel to the shop. I'd love to be able to order stuff from your store online, and the chat will keep me updated. Grevlane, when I can finally say your damn name, I apologize. That has been the plan from the get-go. We're going to rely a little less on the brick and mortar, and we're going to do that. We're going to do all kinds of fun stuff. Okay. We're going to do comic book delivery. it's pretty easy. One of the things we were doing at Tesla is we needed to get our parts from each Tesla place. We were just using Lyft. It was the cheapest way to go. And Dakota Stanton, thank you so much. 1776, great year. I remember it well. Hello, Gary. Brave, but you stuck to your guns. So here's some pick me up. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dakota. Yes. And I stick to my fucking guns to my chagrin sometimes. But here we go. So what does this mean for the channel? It means good stuff. If you like what we do, there'll be a lot more of it. And our stuff will be earlier. Like we're going to change the time to the Friday. We'll move it up like a half hour, maybe an hour on the Friday night so more people can watch it. Well, it is late here. I'm off to bed, but best of luck to you with your shop. Annie Trekker, thank you so much for coming in. Please don't be a stranger. And I would love to have you on my channel. I know your time is tight too, but maybe someday we can work it out and chat, because I love your channel. It is so much fun, and like really some of the best live streams. He does these fun like cartoons. I guess your kid did them. That's fucking amazing. That's rad. Your kid's amazing. So yeah, good night, my friend, and let's talk soon. Yeah, and the great thing about YouTube is like getting into this community, with all you guys in the chat and other YouTubers. There's so many freaking cool people out there. As governments and companies try to divide us, YouTube is bringing us together. Well, at least for now, anyway. Right on. And sure, we will hook up. That's good. That's good to hear. I look forward to it. How soon is now? Now is real damn soon. It is, Ed Brewer. And yes, I had to use the title of a Smith song, and I secretly love the Smiths and Morrissey. Yeah, it's late. It is late. Let me see if I missed any chats. Also, I wanted to announce, Feisty Fan, did you see, I don't know if you follow my buddy Darick Robertson on Twitter. Did you guys see what he posted today? Did you hear about The Boys? Anybody, The Boys is a comic book. And my buddy Darick Robertson, that he co-created and illustrated. He is the illustrator of Transmetropolitan and Happy. So they showed their first promotional image today on, oh God, finding their Twitter is impossible, on their Twitter, and it looks fucking badass. Here, Dennis sent it to me too, so I'll just find it there. Give me just a second, guys. It looks just like the cover of the first book. Carl Urban is in it and playing the Butcher. And if you're not familiar with the story, it's basically a government agents, or a government has gotten a group of people together to kind of keep heroes in check. In this world, superheroes are like all really bad celebrities that have gone, off the chain, and they need to be blackmailed and all kind of. Now Facebook isn't coming up. Damn it. Hang on. Let's try this. There it is. Oh yeah, that is so beautiful. Oh my God. And I'm actually drawn into this comic book. I'm in issue, I can't remember now, 24, 23, and 23. I'm in issue 23. I'm in the fourth trade paperback. So if you look in the first two pages, you'll see me. I'm carrying like a crate full of flamethrowers, which is kind of ironic in a sense. Yes, The Boys, coming in 2019 from Prime Video. And Darick has been waiting forever to get one of his properties like greenlit legit, and he had Happy. Happy didn't turn out as well as he thought it would. He loves the show. He definitely loves the show, but just things, sometimes things don't turn out like you think they're gonna. This one's going to be a different story for him. I want this to be a success. I can't wait for it. It's a great comic story. I highly recommend it. Go to your local comic store and buy it, or go to Amazon if you don't have a local comic store near you. And yeah, that looks fucking amazing. I'm so yeah, this has been a crazy day. It's been a crazy day. So I'm very excited about The Boys, and Gary, sometimes you just need to pull the trigger. They probably never going to be a perfect time to do it. Do what you need to do. Thank you, Jody. And you're right. You're right. That's the good thing with age is, a decision like this when I was 30 would have made me probably crap my pants. But now it's just like, it's a job. Jobs are great. And luckily, I'm very fortunate to have, through hard work, have a couple of skills that I can fall back on if to make some bucks. But how often does this channel's tiny. Okay, it's small. I'm not going to expect to make a living off it. This is a supplemental income, but it can grow. How often do these come along? Never. And I mean never. And this is something I've worked really hard at. I just didn't know that YouTube would be where we end up. But Dennis and I have been doing the podcast for going on 5 years. And even before that, going back to 2009, we did a podcast connected to the store. So I've been doing this. I've been podcasting for like a decade now. People have actually been listening for maybe under a year, but that's okay. It's kind of like being in a band, you play all the small gigs and then you get to the medium gigs and then the record companies come and take all your money. Elon, Elon will light one up. Everything will be okay. Yes, he will. Did I save up my money? I did, Agent Future. I have been over the last 5 years, but I really, really wanted the last 2 months. But I'll be fine. My wife and I co-own a hair salon here in San Francisco. So the comic shop does not have to be the main. I mean, if it had to be like what paid my mortgage and stuff, oh no, oh hell no. It's supplemental income. It's fine. The salon pays the bills. And it does pretty damn good. My wife rocks. Build my own little kingdom and rule it. I'd be a terrible king. I'll do what you want. No taxes. Then my kingdom would burn down. But, at least the people would love me. As they usurped my throne. He was a really nice guy, but terrible king. I want constant streams of every step taken. We are here with you. Please share it with us. I think this will help the channel. Slurmy Scott, I will do that. And thank you. And that's the one thing is there's going to be, I think in the very near future, like daily stuff. Now I know a lot of people have been, like World Class Bullshitters does a morning show. That's kind of something I've been wanting to do forever. But there will be for one, the patrons, you will be getting a ton more content, a shit ton. I've got all kinds of fun plans for, watch parties and stuff. We're going to start some Doctor Who watch parties. We're going to do Rocky Horror. We're going to do all kinds of fun. I'm going to try to get some of the Tribunal on board when they can. Of course, there's the Tribunal coming. Actually, the Tribunal will be on our channel a week from today. Time to be announced. It was actually me. My schedule was kind of fucking things up for the Tribunal because my availability was so crappy. And Doomcock is very busy. So the Tribunal, I would set the expectations right now that for the first probably 3 months until Star Trek Discovery starts ramping up again, I'm thinking we'll try to do once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks when Doomcock can. I mean, Doomcock is the leader of the Tribunal. He is, he's basically the head of the band. Kind of look at us as like kind of Smashing Pumpkins. Billy Corrigan wrote all the songs. Played everything. We're kind of like the Smashing Pumpkins. It goes as he goes, and just wanted to let him know if he's listening. No pressure. Do it when you can. We'll be here, and we'll get this thing going when it gets going. Not sure what our next topic will be. If it's still topical at the time, I'd love to hit Stage 9, guys. If you don't know, Stage 9 was just a VR. It wasn't even a game. It was just you walked around the Enterprise D. I honestly, I was aware of it. I had never seen any of the stuff until I watched Anti-Trekker's video, and it looked amazing. And it was for free. It was done purely out of love. and they shut it down, and it's just so stupid. I mean, whether they have a right to or not, Anti-Trekker says, and he seems pretty smart when it comes to copyright laws. I've always been I mean, I guess it's my opinion, but I always thought that if you're not making, I mean, like I can sit down and write and draw a Spider-Man comic and give it away all I want. There's nothing in the world that says I can't do that. I don't see what the difference is unless they had some kind of ads or something, or they were asking for money and donations or anything. That's where it gets murky. But if they were just putting it out there for people to do whatever they wanted to with and just look at, I don't see the problem. I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it's fucked up though. I think it's super tone deaf and fucking lame. And the reason Star Trek is here because of stuff like that, because fans of doing, I mean, I remember in San Diego, we had Star Trek plays. People were doing like stage Star Trek. So, I mean, you start shutting that down, then you're just going to have a worthless IP. So, good luck with that. Yeah, CBS had to cease and desist Stage 9 because of legal precedent. The stupidity is they didn't hire the guys to make it in the game, right, Mako? I mean, if they like cut a deal, just go, this is amazing, guys. How about just like, giving them the credit is due, is like, or just speaking to them like humans. Just go, listen, we're not going to make a big deal about this. We can't have you doing this, but maybe we can come to an understanding. But no, the lawyers just want to attack. They just want to attack. So what CBS has done is just whooped up a bunch of Star Trek fans at the worst time possible. All right, you've already got a bunch of bad blood for Star Trek Discovery, and now you have this on top of Axanar, and then the lawsuit with Anas Amdeen, and all you have is egg on your face, and it's like they can't do anything right. CBS should really like get rid of this. They're clearly don't know what the fuck they're doing with this IP. Gary, you can talk about the phone book and we'll be watching. Oh, come on. You guys are awesome. I'll bet you'll find a way to make discussing the phone book interesting. What's a phone book, Jody? No, just kidding. Thank you. We get to some more of your chats here. Sorry if I missed any. I'm really happy for you, Gary. Thanks, Feisty Fan. No taxes, just fees. How's your father? Good morning, Ed Brewer. Morning drive time. Morning drive. Oh, are you drive? Oh, okay. So yeah, that's right. You're in the UK. Good morning. Oh my God, Persian Scribe. When I was in the UK, I got so addicted to listening to the BBC. What's the one? The BBC radio. I mean, there's only like 4 of them, right? BBC One or whatever. The radio station that plays all the pop music. Couldn't stop listening to it. I don't know why. The UK just has better taste in cheesy pop than we do for some reason. Oh my God, who's the girl who sang that song Bulletproof? I couldn't get enough of that song. I heard a Rocky Horror System. This is TJ Warner. Blizzard had a private server that worked very well. They cease and desist it, but then hired the guys. Yeah, that's what you do. I mean, my unsolicited advice to Stage 9, do some Expanse stuff. I doubt they'll say shit to you. I think they'll be way more friendly. For one, it's not owned by this giant corporation. It's owned by oh, I forgot the name of that. It's a production company. So I think any free advertisement they would take at this point, because that's all it was. Yeah, right, Darren S. It's free advertising. Shut it down. Makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Say what you want about George Lucas. He let a lot of that stuff slide. As long as you were making obscene amounts of money, you can do prints, you can do all kinds of stuff for Star Wars. Now Disney shut that all down as well. And they're gonna listen. Disney's gonna go after people at the cons too. If I'm sure those of you who've gone to Comic Cons have seen all the Spider-Man prints that people do. And it used to be kind of an unwritten rule that if you kept it under a certain amount, you can make the prints and sell them. But I mean, people are straight up selling Spider-Man t-shirts and stickers and stuff. They're going to shut all that down. And that takes away, God, about it. I'd say a tenth of your con, especially artist alleys. Actually, as a derivative property, you legally cannot make your own Spider-Man comic. If Marvel and DC wanted to shut it down, they could. But as long as it isn't interfering, they usually let it go. Yeah, I don't know, Carrie Dalton. I mean, if I wanted to make a comic and pass it out to my friends now, if I wanted to make 1 million of them and pass them out, yeah, I could see that being a problem because you're interrupting, you're flooding the market and disrupting the market. So as long as you're not disrupting the market, they usually, turn the other cheek. And maybe they just think, I don't know how many people were actually going to stage 9. And I guess that's probably the argument. It is frustrating how certain lawyers use their skills to abuse the little guy. You know what I mean? They should protect the greater good. Yeah. And he's talking to Slurmy Scott, one of my former good friends. It sucks. Sometimes you go through life, you get into business deals, and it kills friendships. And it's a sad thing. It's one of the, going back into the comic store, I have to, Brian and I had a talk, and he asked me, "Is like, are you remembering the bad?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm remembering the bad. I remember a lot of the bad, and there was a lot of bad." With owning a business in San Francisco and dealing with Diamond, there's a lot of bad in the comic industry, and God, Marvel right now. But there's so much good. There's so much upside. But sometimes you lose friends over, just dumb business deals and or stupid shit, and it's sad. So one of my old friends was an IP attorney, really fucking good one. And the law is murky as hell. It's almost make it up as you go. He was Wesley Snipes' attorney, not his tax or criminal attorney, his intellectual property attorney, and he was involved in the whole Blade 3 fiasco. And he helped. Wesley sued. Was it New Line who was doing that? Yeah, he sued it successfully too. What's up, Man of Action? What is going on? Have you seen the X-Men Dark Phoenix trailer? I have, KO. I have. So it reminded me of that Midnight's Edge did a good stream on this too with Mecha Random. So it reminded me a lot of X-Men Last Stand. Am I wrong on that one? I love how Grace Randolph called Budget Geonosia. I hate to agree with her, but I totally agree with her on that one. Geonosia is supposed to be like Wakanda. It's supposed to be filled with it's a tropical island off Africa, and it has technology. I don't know about tropical, but it's sunny. It's nice. It's not like, it doesn't look like Canada, like she said. And yeah. So Sophie Turner. We don't do personal attacks here. Okay. Sophie Turner, by all accounts, is a nice young lady. Wrong for this role. Just really, really wrong for this role. Now, Jean Grey is supposed to be girl next door, but she has a personality. She's not a stiff. And I'm basing it on her, Sophie Turner's performance in Apocalypse. Now, it might not have been all her fault. I don't know. What I liked the Morrison Quietly costumes. I loved fucking seeing that. I don't know how they're working this with the timeline, because in Apocalypse, didn't Age of Apocalypse take place in the 80s? If I'm wrong, correct me, but like the 80s. And we saw the Phoenix Force there, but then in this trailer, they show them in the newer costumes going into space, and then she gets the Phoenix Force there. So was it always in her and it was tapping out? I don't know. And also, this was also, what's up, Tim F? This was also talked about. Okay, the Dark Phoenix saga. If I was Marvel, I'd be shutting this down, because now it has been done twice in movies and you cannot do it again. This is one of the best stories in the history of comics. And I think it needs to be done right. You would have to do this in a trilogy, or maybe you make this the end of your big phase for the whole Marvel universe. Yes, you bring in the Shi'ar Empire, you go cosmic, you bring in the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm talking about in the MCU. You can have a lot of fucking fun with this. You can have this intertwined into so many stories within the MCU by adapting it as best you could. The best place it was adapted was the cartoon. Cartoon did a great. The X-Men cartoon made more X-Men fans than the actual comic book. That was my experience at the comic store. Is tons of X-Men fans, and they all became fans from the cartoon. And that's what made, there's waves of X-Men fans. There was my generation, which was Claremont, Byrne, Cockrum, and then there was the cartoon fans who then went back and read the books and went, shit, these were a lot alike. They did really good adaptations. They streamlined a lot of stuff, and it was a cartoon, but the 90s X-Men cartoon was fucking awesome. Was awesome. And so was the Spider-Man one, but and the Silver Surfer and the Fantastic Four, loved all those. God, and the Iron Man one, loved it. It just sucks that it's gonna come out and it's gonna suck. I'm sorry. If that's what, and it's such a waste of a good cast. First Class was a great movie. I love Days of Future Past. I do. And I'm not a fan of Bryan Singer. So I'm not sad to see while the X-Men movies were really important, and of the time they were great, we've evolved past them. And, I don't know what Marvel does. I don't know if they sit on them I think they should sit on them for a few years, let some time pass in between, but I don't think they're going to do that. The trailer did not impress me. I think they did the best they could. But yeah, it's weird. It's just weird. So that's going to be the end of the whole, Fox X-Men series. They're going to bookend it with that. All they need to do is taste the best bits from the comics and make it work on the big screen. They don't need to reinvent the wheel with this. And you're right. And what I've said before is you don't need to change the comic stories that much. Of course, you need to make them work on film, but I really, really disagree with the whole grounding element of comics. There's a certain amount you have to do, but they do way too much. I think Fox did way too much grounding with the X-Men. The X-Men are a very fantastical group. They go out to space. I'm bored to death with the hunted and feared thing. Yes, it's part of the story, but it's not all their story. There's so much more to the X-Men than just the hunted and feared thing. And that's something you go to once in a while. Just like Batman goes and fights the Joker once, but he also does other shit. So, yeah, I love the X-Men and I want them done right. I think Kevin Feige will do them right. He's, I haven't seen him fuck up yet. So, yeah, I don't mean to sound too down on the trailer and the movie. Maybe the movie's good, and if it is, I'll admit it. I really don't like what they, I didn't like what they did with Mystique in all the X-Men movies. I'm a big fan of Mystique, and we have yet to see her. Now, the closest one was Rebecca Romijn, but she didn't say anything. I could do a video on I'm sure you guys noticed this. You watch a Bryan Singer movie, and other than Usual Suspects, watch every other Bryan Singer movie, and there's a bunch of people walking around not saying anything. There's a bunch of mute characters who just walk around and they're there to be bad guys, but they don't get any lines or anything. Rebecca Romijn is the best example, who said nothing. Yeah, it's just weird. Go back and watch it if you want to. Any Bryan Singer movie other than Usual Suspects, and there's so many mute people in it. It's weird. Superman, fucking Superman was mute in his own movie in Superman Returns. At least I have Titans to look forward to. Swamp Thing. I think Swamp Thing is going to be good. I hope Doom Patrol is good too. But Akiva Goldsman, I always say Goldsman, who is writing the Picard series and Titans, not thinking Mr. Nipples on the Batsuit's going to be doing anybody any favors. Loved Venom's arrival to Earth in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. I'm disappointed no film has done that yet. Space shuttle crash on Brooklyn Bridge would be amazing with J. Jonah Jameson's son. Mix in the Man-Wolf story. Fuck yeah, Nihilist Shadow. Or the Spectacular Spider-Man. I don't know if you guys saw that. That's that arguably best Spider-Man cartoon. Best Venom origin. And if you're going to do a change, what they did was they made Eddie Brock kind of like the older brother that Peter never had, kind of his protector. And then they go Greek tragedy with it. And the symbiote's origin is mixed in with Doc Connors and the Lizard. And Eddie and Peter become enemies at some point. I thought it was really well done. Really, really well done. But I love the 90s cartoon. That would be epic to see that. Oh man, Dakota Stanton, thank you for the $2. Oh wow, we got 2 super chats. Holy shit, guys. That theme song though. Oh, from what? From X-Men or I I kind of like the Spectacular Spider-Man theme. Don't forget that probably the best non-comic book version of the Dark Phoenix saga was in the 92 X-Men cartoon. Absolutely correct, Carrie Dalton. Winner. A $10 super chat from Grevlane. Congrats on being free from employeedom. I'm with you. Yes, I am my own boss again. Thank fucking Galactus. Thank Harvey Cthulhu. I'm free. Free at last. As my sponsor says, it's been going back to work in the old profession was kind of something my sponsor had recommended, and I did as my sponsor told me to do, as what you're supposed to do. A little practice in humility, 5 years. And when I tell the story, which I believe is December 7th, I pegged the date for what happened to the Comic Outpost. Bring your popcorn for that one, because it's a doozy. I also just looked, and this is probably the biggest reason they did what they did to Star Trek. Bridge Crew TNG came out July 24, 2018. Oh, yes, it did. It did. How is that game? Anybody? Is it good? Don't they still have a Star Trek Online too? I wanted to check that out. How is Bridge Crew? Yeah, that probably had something to do with it. It sounds like it's a game where you're making your own bridge crew, I'm assuming. Yeah, you can't. I mean, like, on an adult, rational level, you can't argue with them. But on a just a human emotional level, it's fucking terrible. It's just terrible. Terrible. And yeah, I was gonna make a video, and then I saw Annie Trekkers and Doomcock's live stream last night was so impassioned and fucking awesome. I have nothing to add to that. Zero. So I'm gonna do an Expanse video instead. So the Expanse, although I've been telling you guys for like a year how awards are bullshit, and they are, except for this one. EW is doing like a People's Choice Awards, and Expanse is a finalist. So I'm going to be doing a video, and also they started production. So I'm going to give you a good news video, but we'll talk about Stage 9 on Friday, and please come and join us Friday, which is tomorrow. These people use the comics, then disrespected the material, as they always do, Man of Action. And they just got to realize that the material has been there for almost 100 years for a reason. It's good. It's entertaining. There's amazing stories in comics. They're not just for kids. They never have been just for kids. You got to suspend some disbelief. Totally, as you do, as with, you have to do with fantasy and sci-fi and, well, any drama by Hollywood. I liked, somebody asked if we were gatekeepers in one live stream, and I answered, it's actually Tom who answered correctly, because I kind of agreed with Doomcock, and somewhat we are, but actually we're stewards, as Tom says, and I think that's a way better way to put it. Is to all the new nerds and geeks, which we want tons of. I love new nerds and geeks, as long as they don't want to come in and change everything right away. There's a saying I like to tell. I told my oldest son quite a bit, is you got to play the game before you think you can change the rules. Now some of us may be better at playing the game than others, but you can't just roll in and expect everything to change for you. And that's kind of what's happened to the comic industry a little bit. Some people need to earn their stripes, my opinion, but it's okay that we get some new stuff in and they try it. But if it fails, don't keep doubling down and hurting small businesses, which Marvel has been doing. By the way, where'd it go? I got my Batwang book. It's really, I mean, it's like very shadowed. It's very shadowed Bat member, but yes, I did go on eBay and buy it. Can't pass up that, even though it's like not even close to the first time that's happened. So Mystique is a villain, and she's not a hero. She's not Charles' moral compass. That really bothered me in the trailer. Is we went back and did the same thing again. They're remaking Last Stand. It's like, woo, that's the worst thing you should be remaking. I want a Gambit TV show based in New Orleans. That would be good. I think a lot more Marvel stuff should be on television, serialized storytelling. Rebecca Romaine is my Mystique. How's your father? Damn straight. It's so sad it's not Stamos anymore. What happened? They were such a good couple. Is Brooklyn Hudson your porn name? I thought porn name was a man of action. I thought porn name was the street you grew up on and the name of your first dog or cat. I thought that was your porn name. Well, first it was, yeah, the name of your first pet and then the street you grew up on. Maybe a singer is confusing being mute with being an interesting badass. Maybe, or maybe he's just concerned about the next weird party he has to go to. It's very disappointed to see his name on The Gifted. Pinning my hope on Venom, says Slurmy Scott. Man, Venom. Slurmy, I'm going to see Venom next week. We're going to do a review. I'm a big fan of Tom Hardy. I want this movie to do well. I just wish it had Spider-Man. You know, and Sony forcing their hand is just not going to end well. But if anybody can pull it off, Tom Hardy can. Okay, I love Tom Hardy. Everything about it is weird, and the production was rushed. But let's cross our fingers. Let's hope for the best, but probably expect the worst. That coat won't do in New Orleans. New Orleans, bloody hot, says Davis 404. Damn right it is. Thanks again, guys, for the super chats. Really appreciate that. D. Newton says, name of my first pet and the street you grew up on, Princess Cherry. Yeah, mine is okay. You gotta forgive my parents. Okay, my parents were not thinking about like what that sounded like at the time. They were just naming a dog. Okay, so we had a cockapoo. Okay, we had a cockapoo. Yes, there's a dog called a cockapoo. It's a cocker spaniel and a poodle. It's called a cockapoo. The dog was black for like the first year of his life. Then he turned gray, but the dog was black. So my parents decided to name my dog Blackie. So yeah, so my porn name would be Blackie Levante. Actually kind of works. If it does well, Sony will try to yank Spider-Man for Marvel again. Tekkaman Blade, they can if they want to. They own the reins to Spider-Man, so MCU has to play nice. That's why they let this Venom thing happen, and they let all these other movies happen. God, Professor Corgi, is that his name? Am I getting that right? Professor Corgi. He's a YouTuber. It's funny. My son loves him. Did a great video on what Sony is up to and what they're doing. And it's really, really great video on that. And it makes all the sense in the world. Like they're just throwing all this shit out there to basically force Marvel's hand into either buying Sony or letting them completely play in their playground. Bringing Amy Pascal into the MCU though is just bad. So bad. Who's Amy Pascal? Ghostbusters 2016. Need I say more? Thorgy Thank you, Professor Thor. I'm sorry. Did I call him a corgi? I was thinking of feisty fans probably cracking up. Professor, maybe there's a Professor Corgi too, and he talks about corgis all the time. Professor Thorgy, that's right. Did a damn good video on that. Go check it out. My son watches more of him than he does of his old man. Guess I got a ways to go. Cockapoo is a porn name? No, it could be. That Joe, that's some really kinky shit though. But I ain't judging. My porn name is Sydney Echo Summit. You sound like a YA author, Ken Jack Ben. She was a young witch, and she fell in love with a young vampire who wasn't really young. He just looked young. And their parents didn't approve. And then she went on to write for Marvel. No, there's a twisted relationship on par with the deal with the devil in the Sony deal. There, yes. I mean, that fucking interview Kevin Feige does with Amy Pascal when she's like, oh yeah, Venom's in the MCU. That look on his face is like, oh my God, that's the most classic memeable face of all time. There is no better name, no matter what you want to do, be it porn or something else, than Doomcock, says Mike Sater. You're not going to get an argument out of me. Doomcock. Dude, you want to talk about the best branding ever on fucking YouTube? People will come around on that. You all can be the hipsters of YouTube and say, I knew Doomcock before he hit 10,000 subs. I knew him when he was at 800 subs. You can all do that, and you'd be right to do that. James Bosworth. You sound like you're going to be doing my taxes, Dave 404. Is that your porn name? Rothman, who made it his mission to kill X-Men and keep Deadpool from happening. Tom Rothman, man. Fucking Tom Rothman. And he's running Sony right now. Gary, kids will probably never think their parents are famous or worth watching. I wouldn't want. No, I'm not. No, I'd be weird if my kid was watching me. No, nobody in my family watches, and that's probably good. That's probably very good. Good morning, Pat Van. Is it Kirchhoff? Kirchhoff? Good morning. How's it going? It's 11:08 p.m. here on the West Coast in San Francisco, California. Current temperature is 55 degrees, partly cloudy. Latest news, there's still lots of poop on the street. And in the show Maniac, they have this little robot sanitizer poop picker upper, and we need that like now. Elon can make it. It could be the Tesla, I don't know, the Tesla shitter or something. I kind of like Ken Jack Ben says my current porn name, because it could change later, is Pepe Carter. Pepe, are you done with the fluffer? You're next, buddy. Actually, that's funny that you ask, how's your father? He brought that up at his birthday party tonight. He's all, oh, can I be your assistant? And I'm like, yes, it'll be the family business, and he will be working there. It's 1:08 a.m. in the wonderful Midwest. Nicest people out there. I have family in South Dakota. Doomcock's name might constrain his media reach. I thought so, Davis 404. I don't think it does, though. Maybe in the beginning, but I think as far as the edge factor, I think that'll help. Where in the crowds, he's not going to get like PewDiePie numbers, but I think he will, in the edgelord factor, he'll do very well. and that's why he's called Overlord DVD on his channel. It certainly gets attention. Yeah, it'll probably. I don't know. I don't know. I think all that will be erased by his fucking talent. Like, I mean, just, I mean, you guys see it. You guys see it. Like, he is extremely intelligent, well written, talented as fuck, can sing, he's a Renaissance man. What are the rules for making up your own villainy name? That's a good question. There's got to be rules out there. Let's ask Google. No, we'll have to work on that one. Let's get to work on that one. So, okay. So, what do we want to do in the future? Well, we're going to do a mixed bag here. So I don't want to break off into two channels. Everybody does that. I don't think that's necessary. I think we have been live streaming forever on this channel, so I don't think it's a problem. The only thing I'm going to mix in is we're not going to do every TV show live. This way we can cover more shows. So I just did a recorded video for Manifest, which is a severely okay TV show, like very average. I mean, it's a pilot, so it's hard to judge it. It does have an actress from The Expanse in it. God dang it, I'm forgetting her name. Like, God, she was in season 1. Doomcock is a gentleman and a scholar, absolutely, and that's the one thing is he's passionate, but he is a gentleman. He is a gentleman villain. Which is funny. Venture Brothers talked about the lost art of being the gentleman villain. If you watch the last episode, is quite good. Where he goes to an old classic and ties a guy up to train tracks. He's all the gentleman villain would give you. Maybe you have time to escape. Is the train on another track? Who knows? So where was I? Yes. So yeah, so I was covering Manifest and I did a quick recorded video. I almost didn't do it, threw it up there, and then it like performed really, really well for us. I mean, for our channel, like if we get like 2,000 or 3,000 views on something within the first 24 hours, that's fantastic. So we're going to do more of those, but on the important shows, the shows we want to talk about, like like Expanse and stuff, we're still going to be doing the recaps. I got to just find Tom had mentioned that I got to find a way to market it better. Because we never really just planned on doing it that way. It just kind of happened. And so it's basically we do our own version of Talking Dead or whatever, but it's interactive, not as cheesy, not a big commercial for the TV show, except for The Expanse. We shell hard for The Expanse. And I have no problem doing that. But yeah, so we're working on that. That's why it's good to pick other YouTubers' brains. Okay, Steve. Oh my God, Steve. Dalev. Do you pronounce the J or is it silent? Villain name: least favorite color plus model of first car. Huh. I like where you're going with that. I do. What's my least favorite color? I have to think about that. Well, it'd be like, I don't know. Yes, tick, tick, tick. I have to think about that. My least favorite color. And my first car was a Pontiac Grand Safari. So it looked exactly like Clark Griswold's car. It was a hand-me-down from my parents. And it was green with the fake wood paddling on the side. Let's see if we got one up here. Pontiac Grand Safari. What's one that looks like? Oh shit, that's it right there. That is fucking it. Oh my God, I haven't looked at that in so long. So we called this the Mean Green Family Machine. And we fit an entire basketball team in here one time, and I partied, well, until I crashed it. Yeah. That was my first car right there. Look how fucking big that thing was. Holy shit. Had a V8. It had some seats in the back that were facing the back. Got like 3 miles to the gallon. Yeah. So we're going to mix in some recorded videos and we'll be doing more of those. But I mean, if it's something, just stay in touch with us. Just if there's something like, hey, I'd rather talk about this one than watch a video, but just we're all ears. All right. So we're going to be trying new things. If you guys hate them, just let me know. Don't sub. I mean, like, talk to us first. Holiday Road. Yes. God damn, I love that movie. Right. If you're going to take over the world, at least be nice about it. Right? Fuchsia Pinto. That CD Horde, you're close. You're close. The Fuchsia Pinto. That's pretty good. I think that's a good start. Mine would be like no. I don't know. I don't know if I've never thought about my least favorite color. What annoys me the most? I can't hate pink. My wife is all about pink. I would say like oh god, like that pukey green. No, because that kind of looks like an avocado. I don't know. I don't have I like colors. You know what I don't like? It's a shade though. I don't like blank white walls. As you notice, I like to have stuff. I always when I went to other comic stores, I never told them I own another store, and I never wanted, but I really wanted to like set some guys aside and go, dude, put some shit on your walls. You get a bunch of free posters from Marvel, put something up there, and do not ever put a poster in the window. They fade, they look like shit. Don't do it. Frame everything you can. There's lots of cheap frame places. See, that's what I should have done, a comic book shop makeover show. I'd have fucking kicked ass at that. With just the stuff they have in their store. They don't have to buy any. You maybe buy some paint. That's it. Primary colors, folks. Not that hard. I'm not going to name the comic store, but I've been spying in other comic stores to kind of see the lay of the land, see what's going on. That's kind of what got me into YouTube. That's what's got me listening to a lot of comic book YouTubers. I was trying to figure out what's going on. And there's a lot of comic shops out there that are very sparse. They're just new releases, a couple of pops, not even trades or anything. I mean, I know things are tight, but the secret to owning a cool shop and to making money is actually having the scratch to buy stuff, to buy collections, to buy trades and stuff like that, because that's where you're going to make your money. Not going to make your money just buying your stuff from Diamond. It's going to be bad if that happens. I stopped buying trades from Diamond years before I sold my store, and I just did a trade. I did a trade buyback program, and I did so well off that. Once in a while, I'd buy a new one if it was like somebody really, if it was a story that somebody really wanted, or it was original graphic novel. But like Marvel and DC trades, I purely bought them off of customers. I just put a sign by my counter going, "We buy trades." That's all I needed to do. And I buy a big long box of trades for, $30 or something like that. Boom, off to the races. My first car was a Ford LTD station wagon, D Newton. That was my sister's first car. Was it? Ours was white. Blue XL7, yellow Duster for Belinda. Nice. Anyway. Oh my God, where did the chat go? Oh, I still have Annie Trucker's video up. Belinda, yes, we're going to be hitting Farscape hard. So the Farscape deal is we're going to do the season reviews on the channel, and then I'm going to continue the episode reviews on Patreon. So I'm going to continue doing episode by episode, on Patreon now. I'm gonna have to kind of rush through the first season, but that's okay. I'll just do little short ones. But yes, Farscape. The date is October 8th. October 8th, we're doing Farscape season 1 review. Caprice Classic with a 454 double barrel. I was a queen of the road. Slurmy. Queen of the road. I don't know if I like a pink Acura. What kind of an Acura did you have, Feisty? I used to work for Acura. Was it an Integra? Orange. Tamara doesn't like orange. Tamara Carruthers. We like orange here in San Francisco. A lot of Giants fans. That's kind of the color of our channel. But it's more of a yellow. That was accidental, by the way. I wanted to do blue, but then we did yellow and it looked better than the blue. It's not a real comic shop without nerd cred. Yeah, you can't, comic shops. It's one thing to open one and then back it up. But what Feisty will back me up on is sometimes you don't have to read. Thank you, Dakota Stanton. I'm still holding you to Stargate, Gary. Yes, next year I'm doing Stargate, Babylon 5. I've committed too many things this year. I got to do Vikings before the year's over. But I haven't seen Crazy Carlos in a while, but yeah, he super chatted like $200. So I got to do it. Yes, Belinda, you're very welcome. And like, I love Farscape. It's freaking great. It's one of those things where it's like, God damn, why didn't I do that sooner? But yeah, I'll do Stargate. MacGyver in space. That's right. Well, the thing with Stargate is I'll probably, I really just never got into the show because I hated the movie. I didn't like the movie very much. I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it very much. But I heard it's a lot different. So Tarkajetti started to GoFundMe. I don't know if I could do that. Things are cool. If your shop ain't named Nerdrotic, you missed a step. P.S. Trademark that puppy. Davis 404. Check. Already done. And the thing is, I've been operating under it as it's. I have a business license for it, so I mean, essentially that does it. But I've gone through the process of all kind. Yeah, it's fuck. Thank God for LegalZoom. LegalZoom's great, by the way. Fucking love LegalZoom. I'm still got feelers out for my copyright violation that Vox Day is using for one of his comic book monikers. He's using Dark Legion, and I own that. So funny, I popped that into a comment on Umbrella Guy's channel. Because that's where I heard it. I'm like, hey, I own Dark Legion. And a bunch of guys all, no, you don't. in the comments, I'm all, yeah. But I can understand why they don't believe me. It's like some asshole just saying, I own that. But I actually do. Feisty's seen the copyright. Yeah. Well, shit. If CBS could, shut down a Stage 9, I could shut down a Vox Day. Speedster. Yeah, that's a great suggestion, and I have actually done that. You should put some arcade cabinets like the old X-Men arcade game in your store. Great suggestion. Remember the Spider-Man game, which is like the X-Men game? I have that right below me. I also have a Spider-Man pinball machine, and the only reason they're not in this office as part of the background is There's no way to get them. My house is a labyrinth. So we have a stairway up to our front door. There's no fucking way you can get a full-on pinball machine up that stairway. And then the access to the garage is like it's literally a tunnel. It's cool as hell, but you can't really get, it's hard. We'd have to probably take out our back window. So yeah, I would love to have them up here, but they're going to be part of the shop. That's why I hung on to them. So yes, I have. And you know, those big boxed arcade games are not as expensive as you'd think. I found the Spider-Man game for $400. I mean, that's still a lot of money, but, and you can have them custom made now. So if you can get like an X-Men cabinet, but I can then have like thousands of games programmed into one. Yeah, I will. You know, I haven't heard. He's probably busy. I'm gonna reach out to him on Facebook though. I was just thinking about him the other day. It's like, oh shit. I have a shirt for him. It's just the material on these shirts. Slur me or is not Doomcock. This is a Doomcock shirt. It's great. But the one I did it through Cafe Press just to try it, and it was I didn't like that. It felt really starchy and stiff. Yeah, this is Doomcock shirt. You should go check out the Cannon Wars. I think it's Zazzle.com. It's you can check it out. I believe it's at the end of all of his videos. And if you go to his channel, it's there too. And you can link to his channel. If you go to my channel on the right, it says Tribunal and Affiliates. And you'll see some of our friends on the right. Viking Bitches up there. And I got to put Anti-Trekker up there. Anti-Trekker and the Tribunal, of course, and Midnight's Edge and Rob Shlomo. Yeah, those games are fucking rad to have. I go down and play it once in a while in my garage. I had one that I gave to a buddy of mine back in the day. Well, that's nice of you. Yeah, the pinball machine is fucking nice, and it costs us a lot of money to restore it. And Tark, I'm gonna second what Tarka. Oh, by the way, Belinda's. Are you leaving, Belinda? Or is Tarka leaving? But I'm going to second what Tarka Jedi is saying. I love your Expanse posts. I am thinking of dressing up for the Predator. Belinda is the one to follow for Expanse posts. So Belinda, I don't know if you caught it earlier. I'm doing a video tomorrow, record a video to get out the vote for the EW thing, because they're the Expanse is a finalist, and also just to mention that they're starting production, just to keep the visibility out there. Cass Anvar's Twitter, that guy's so funny. He did a great video on it today. Oh, you used to own Narc? Oh, cool. That's awesome. Belinda does have the greatest avatar, for sure. And inspired the thumbnail to our most watched video. 60,000 views. That kind of blew me away. Get the is it the X arcade box and host multiple classic games? Says Mike's here. I'll look into that. Yeah, because they're not that expensive. Vote 25 a day and 25 per email. I will remember to put that in there, Belinda. I'll probably hit you up before I start recording the video for any last minute question, if you don't mind. If I have any last minute questions, I'll hit you up in the DMs on Twitter if you have time. Just woke up at 7:27 a.m. in the UK. What's up, Halam? How's it going? Was Steve the Nerdrotic comic colonic tonic? What did I like? Shiana? What's that? Am I missing something on that one? I don't know what that is. Oh, Shiana from Farscape. I'm in season 1, so I have not gotten to Shiana yet. But yes, I like I can tell you right now, I like Shiana. I like her. That is my kind of girl, right there. Alien, different colored skin. You know, I really like the green and blue girls. It's a thing. Yeah, I know Vox Day has been, yeah, you know, whatever. But how's your father? Yes, but I was listening to an Umbrella Guy video, and he mentioned I just heard Dark Legion. I'm like, that perked up my ears. I'm like, what? It's a, you know, maybe I'll finish that comic. I made a comic book, and I have a notebook that's like that thick on characters, worlds. I mean, this whole world building thing that I was just way beyond anything I could ever do. um, I still think to this day it's a good idea though, and it's a story I've been working on since I was 12. It's changed a million times, but to break it down, it's what if the government made a witch, a ghost, and a Frankenstein, and then they became superheroes. But then I changed it from the government because like everybody did the fucking government, so I changed it to something else. Drugs are involved. Ancient civilizations are involved. Like pretty much everything you could. I mined everything from Art Bell in the '90s and put it into a comic book with superheroes. The entire world might be going to shit, Gary, but we'll always have Nerdrotic to cheer us up. I hope so. I hope I cheer you up a little bit. You guys cheer me up like fucking crazy. Yeah, Mako, what I basically did was shut that part down. And you know, I don't know if I recommend this for everybody, but I just don't watch the news anymore. Stopped a long time ago. You probably heard the story. It was over just like the latest shooting, and all the reporters looked fucking happy. Like, ooh, we had a shooting. And it's like, I'm done. I mean, like, honestly, you know, I vote and everything, but it's local elections and stuff. I don't want to get political, but you know, I'm powerless over so much shit. It's not really no sense worrying about stuff I can do nothing about. Man of Action says Stargate universe ended badly. I thought it was going to roll 5 more seasons at least. Well, that sucks. Yeah, my favorite was Atlantis. How many are there? I just know because it came on after Battlestar Galactica, right? Stargate came on after Battlestar Galactica. We had Miss Pac-Man at my local Pizza Hut when I was a kid. All my allowance went into that machine. Maybe enough to buy the freaking machine. I want one. So one of those sit down ones, got to have one of those too. Oh, Wellington Smithopolis. Yes. R.I.P. Art Bell. That death hit me harder than any celeb at any time. I mean, I was the biggest Art Bell fan. I was so bummed when he retired again. And now we have more clarity on why he did. He had a private drug problem, and that sucks. But he was by far the best interviewer of all time. End of story. Period. Don't even argue with me. Any guy who could sit down with some of these, I mean, some guys he was riveting with how he did interviews. And George Noory is such a poor version of what he used to do. And not everybody could do what Art Bell does, but they had a guy who was really good. The guy with the deep voice. Why am I does Caravan to Midnight? What the hell's his name? Why am I God damn. I mean, you know, I'm kind of bummed that the guy just does politics. I had John B. Wells, but when John B. Wells was on Coast to Coast, he was fucking awesome. Jimmy Church is okay. I like Jimmy Church. But I don't like, I mean, not that George Nuri seems like a nice guy, but I just don't like him. But Doomcock turned me on to the Ground Zero one. That's pretty damn good. Ground Zero, if you're into that kind of stuff, Ground Zero is really damn good. Yeah, Art Bell was good at listening as well as talking. Jimmy Church is good second. Ian Batchelor, yes. Fade to Black, I am a subscriber. I listen almost every night. I guess I would call myself well, I'm not in any of the chats, so I can't call myself a fade or not, but I met him at Contact in the Desert, and he seemed like a really nice guy. Yeah, the guy who took over for Art Bell show sucks. It's not the same. No, it's not Man of Action. It's a poor version. But there's other things out there. What really sucked is when he passed, I didn't see enough people running out and talking like Ancient Aliens. That show would not exist without Art Bell. There's so much, they give it all up to Eric von Daniken, who wrote the book, but the only reason people were still talking about that stuff, you notice Ancient Aliens came around, started, right when Art ended his second run on satellite. Like it filled the void, I feel. Oh my God, I just remember being up super late drawing my Dark Legion comic or the other comic I did, Horror Show, and listening to Art Bell over and over again. I remember the first things I downloaded off of Napster were Art Bell, and I have a CD book of all of his best stuff. If I can recommend one, anything on Montauk, anything on the Philadelphia Experiment, and anything with Father Malachi Martin, that shit will creep you out. The Exorcist guy, oh shit, that was good. Aha. Man, that was good. Philip J. Corso's interview is probably the best of all time. Yeah. Oh, Galaga was awesome, Mike. Loved Galaga. My favorite was Joust. The little knights on a ostrich fighting. I mean, it was bizarre and fun. I still wish I had my ColecoVision. Oh man, Napster. I was just right before we started. I was watching Billy Corrigan's interview with Joe Rogan. I've heard it before, but it's fascinating. When I was watching a couple videos, Steven Tyler and then Billy Corrigan, and both of them, talking in hindsight about the music industry that was, and talk about an industry that just murdered itself, and it's really got a interesting parallel to the comic book industry. Although I think the comic book industry might come out of the digital era better than the music industry did, because the comic industry's never been huge anyway. And it had its time with billion-dollar movies out there. If the comic industry, it had its time to be huge again, and it didn't happen. So it's just a niche industry. It's an industry that makes $600 million a year. That's still a lot of money, but as far as an industry, that's pittance. Yeah, 100% right. Old Coast to Coast was good times. Yeah, and there's I mean, you could sign up to Coast to Coast and listen to the old stuff, or you can find other ways. Uh, yeah, Art Bell right before you go to bed. It's great. His Ghost to Ghost, his Halloween Ghost to Ghost. Oh, those were good. Uh, Ghost and Goblins. My mom used to run an arcade. She was always out or refund. She was always out or refund quarters. LOL. That's awesome. Your mom used to do that. Oh, must have been fun. So, Ghost and Goblins, was that the name of the arcade? That's a good name. I like that. I like the when they would interview the remote viewers. Those guys are sick. Yeah, I can, Jack Ben. It's some of them were nutbags and the other ones were like legit. There's something up with that remote viewing. That's kind of weird. Yes, Steve Ernest. I like when Bell had the line dedicated for calls from the Antichrist. And he would get them. That's the thing, is he would get them. Oh man, yes. I remember driving back from the bars at closing time in college, listening to Art Bell to stay awake. Yes. TJ, is military using remote viewing is creepy or cool or both? Both. Uh, the scientific angle is, if that shit is real, that's insane. But why not? Why not? I try to keep an open mind, TJ Warner. And the one thing that taking many hallucinogenics taught me was, just because it's in your mind doesn't make it not real. Yes, I know I'm using a Dumbledore line from Harry Potter, but it's true. Um, oh, Mike, it's okay. Not everybody. So Art Bell did a show called Coast to Coast AM. It was a late night radio show. I don't know if I'm assuming you're in the States, but I don't know for sure. And here in the States, it's also worldwide. And it was on, depending on where you were, from 10 p.m. to about 2 or 3. He sometimes did 4 or 5 hours, I think. And it was all UFOs, conspiracies, remote viewing, ghosts, Bigfoot, just everything, what's called woo woo, ancient civilizations, all that stuff. It all goes back to Art Bell. And we're so, like, people my age, we watched a show called In Search of, and it's all stuff like that. Yes. Art Bell's theme song was the theme from Midnight Express. Giorgio Moroder, right? Uh, Remote viewing is terrifying. It is, if it's real, Belinda. Fucking yeah, it is. Because that means there's no way if they could really do that, there's no way they gave that program up. Fuck no. Ian Batchelor says CIA, MI6, and KGB all use remote viewers. Yes, they do. They've been trying to crack that egg forever, and they might have. It just depends on the person. It's something that has to be taught. Um, yeah, theme from Midnight Express. Oh, and his bumper music was the best. In Search of did rock, Belinda. I fucking love that show. I wonder if you could buy that on DVD anywhere. You got it, right? I mean, In Search of takes me back to, like, when I used to get watched by my Grammy when I was a little kid. And she'd smoke her Lucky Strikes and we'd watch TV. I come from a long line of Whiskey Tango, ladies and gentlemen. No, actually Alex Jones. No, he's not like Alex Jones. Alex Jones got a start on Art Bell, and before Alex Jones went political, he was completely conspiracy. He was JFK. Uh, 9/11 was an inside job kind of thing. But even before the 9/11 was the inside job, he was all Bilderbergers. And I mean, Alex Jones is crazy. Whatever you want to say, he did go to Bohemian Grove and did get video of that weird fucking ceremony, and that was not fake. There's a giant owl, and they do mock sacrifices, and it's a bunch of crazy rich people, and it's supposed to be some club, but really was some strange, eyes wide shut shit. So, but then he started, and he went down a different road. But he got a start on Art Bell. I remember that. How's your father? Yeah, yeah. Art Bell was really unique. Art Bell entertained everything. I mean, with class. Like, he would not make fun of anybody. He wouldn't clown anybody. And, he had the open lines. He wouldn't screen his calls in the middle of the night. And he'd get the weirdest calls and he would just treat them like a human. And I love that about him. And just, I mean, the world is, an amazing place, but I just want it. I have this weird need for the world to be weird. I need for some of that shit to exist. It doesn't all have to exist, but one of the big three, like ghosts, Bigfoot, or UFOs, one of those three needs to exist for me to feel like the world is just weird and odd enough. I'm thinking 2 out of 3. I was a big Bigfoot guy, but as time has gone on, I've kind of, I don't know. But there are parts in the, there are huge parts of up here in Northern California that are unexplored, 100% unexplored. No human has ever walked through the forest goes so deep up there. And like, we even forget here in California that, I'm in San Francisco. I'm actually in the central part of the state. There's a giant portion that has very few people in it. Lots of, pot and bears and fucking trees. Just like it's forest. So, Clipper Mills. I talked about this last stream. Clipper Mills is a place where a lot of Bigfoot have been seen or heard, and there is a pretty damn good video on YouTube. Just search Bigfoot cries, longest video ever. And it's you don't see anything. It's just a camper that's broken down, and some people were in Clipper Mills and they were on the side of the road and they heard these weird noises, and the video goes on for 10 minutes and it's strange. It's straight up strange. What was it, the title of that? Damn. Got too many windows open right now. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. So if you search Bigfoot screams longest audio in the world, it's from like 6 years ago. It's got 1 million views. You just just listen to it. And yeah, it could be animals, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good video. Lucky Strikes. Woohoo. Yeah. Grammy like Lucky Strikes, and she lived to be 85. Steve Dalev says, Daliev, in search of, especially Nimoy's voice is imprinted in my DNA. Damn straight. I knew him just as much for that as Mr. Spock back when I was young. Eye in the Sky was played a ton on Coast to Coast. Yep. He used to have on the site, you used to be able to look up all his bumper music. Yeah, Ian, Bohemian Grove is pure NW order banking cabal shit. Yes, it is. And it's not that far from me. Oh, I totally believe in that stuff. I don't think it's going out on a limb to think there's a banking cabal, especially after 2008. After that bullshit, nobody went to jail. That one chaps my hat a little bit. Yeah, In Search of with Zachary Quinto. I haven't watched the show yet. Is it any good? Is the new one good? Oh my god, a ferret fighter? Are you serious? $27? Bless your heart. You know what are awesome Amazon purchases live on the air? Talk amongst yourselves. Oh my fucking God, you're awesome. You are so awesome. Well, what's the difference? Oh my God, $24. There. Done. Yeah, it was $24. Ferret fighter. I tip my hat. Thank you so much. The best $24 I've spent today. They do exist. They do. Ian Batchelor. Yeah. I really want to do a straight up conspiracy stream with Doomcock someday. That could go on for hours though. I kind of gave up on Bigfoot, Feisty. I know. I just there's been so many frauds. I still to this day believe the Patterson film is real though. They debunked the guy who debunked it. So weird is what we live for. That's why we adore you, Belinda. Yes. Yeah, there's nothing. I tried the normal life. I really did for a little while. My first marriage, when I did the house thing, and and I'm glad I bought a house and stuff. Really glad I did that. But just the whole like being a slave to stuff, not down at all. And okay, so also with the job, way back to this. Let's dial back to Tesla. It's also a job for like younger people. I think I mentioned that before. It's I would have had a different perspective when I was 30. I've got a little more time and stuff, but like I'm 49. So let's be realistic. How hard I have been on my body, 20 years I got, 25 maybe. I don't want to spend another second doing something I don't want to do. If I'm able, I am able. I am very through hard work and yeah, through fucking hard work and determination, I'm in a position to where I can do this. Is it the best time? No, but there never will be. So, and if I fall on my ass, well, it wouldn't be the first time. Plus, I mean, I know I can sell comics. I've done. It's really with comic. It's Feisty is a great example of of something good in a comic store. I've seen her work, and that's why we get along because we're very similar, we're very passionate. You're in there. It doesn't matter what you have in a comic store; it's who you are talking to, who is selling it. All comic stores have roughly the same shit. It just depends on who's selling it. And there's so many. I'm sorry, there's so many people in comic stores who are just like quiet or socially awkward, and that kind of goes with the territory with comics. And that's there's nothing wrong with that, but you don't want that person on point. You want them in the shop, that's fine, but you don't want them on point. Feisty, you want on point. They really should make you part owner, Feisty. Just saying that. I'll be your agent. Shun him. I only said I kind of don't believe on him, but I believe in a lot of crazy shit. How's your father? I do. Like I totally agree with Joe Rogan mentions like mushrooms like every second. I don't believe in that, but I do believe in the opening up your third eye a little bit, and it gets you in tune with your spirituality and stuff as long as it's not abused. TJ Warner says ghost and UFOs I've witnessed, so I believe 100% true. I don't know about Bigfoot. I think I've seen a UFO. My wife has definitely seen one, and ghosts I definitely believe. Oh yeah. I lived in a movie theater in Encinitas during my Rocky Horror days called the La Paloma. That fucker's haunted. And we got multiple best story. Okay, I'll read the rest of the chat. Best story. So the La Paloma Theater is it was built in the 1920s. It was one of the silent theaters. It had a stage. It was one of the piano theaters, but below the stage there was a dressing room. So there's a screen, stage, dressing room below. So you access the dressing room through like a little stairway. Now after Rocky Horror, we'd all go down there. We'd change clothes, start sparking up some weed, and everybody's gonna go, you were stoned. Well, unless we had a mass shared hallucination. I have 5 of my friends who I'm still in contact today who could back this story up. We're sitting down there, and I work there, so we knew we cleared out the theater. It was just 5 of us left. We're down there, and we hear somebody walking. We hear footsteps over the stage. We're like, somebody's fucking up there. So we ran up there to see like somebody hid. And we looked everywhere, and we like every nook and cranny, and there's a lot of nook and crannies in the theater. So we went, looked, went back down, heard the footsteps again, went back up and really looked, got all of us to look. There was nobody there. Doors were locked. Went back down there, heard the fucking footsteps again. We're like, shit. Then we got properly freaked out, got really quiet, and heard the goddamn footsteps again. And they walked right up to where the stairs came on, and like, 2 of us went, fuck this shit. We walked up there and opened it, and there was nobody there. We got the fuck out. There was a little Mexican joint across the street. We had carne asada burritos till the sun came up. And that was just one story from that place. There are Ewoks. There are Ewoks, man. I'm glad. I mean, I'm really, really sad Gary Kurtz passed away. And it sucks that it took him passing away for people to realize like what his influence was on Star Wars, and like if he would have been involved in Return of the Jedi, how there wouldn't have been Ewoks, it would have been Wookiees. And I'm glad a lot of other people are seeing that. His loss was the biggest loss to Star Wars to this day. His influence on, his influence on Empire alone. That's his movie. Irvin Kershner was a director for hire. It was Gary Kurtz who made that film. D Newton says, I hear that. I tried the normie thing myself, was bad at it though, because I'm about polar opposite from normal as can be. But when I started on chemo, screw that crap. I'm done with that. I'm doing what I want. Or when I was done with chemo, screw that crap. I'm doing what I want. And yes, do what you want as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else and it makes you happy. Happiness is fucking underrated. Happiness and fun are so underrated in this world. When I was growing up, Americans weren't the hardest working people. It was actually the Japanese. But now we work harder than they do. We take less vacation. It's bullshit. I mean, the one good thing I'll say about Tesla is that you roll in there with 3 weeks paid vacation, but still, that's nothing. That's nothing. Thoughts on the Darth Phoenix trailer? Did I go too far up? I thought the Dark Phoenix trailer reminded me of X-Men: The Last Stand. It was better than I thought it was going to be. There are stuff there. I love the costumes. James McAvoy is awesome. Love him. I'm blank. His name is Magneto is great too. I don't know. I want it to be good, but yeah, I did normal with weird, with the weird on the down low, mostly for my kids, but man, it was hard. Yeah, I have to dial it down at times, like when we go to parent teacher conferences and stuff like that. But yeah, time is precious. I mean, it's like you cannot get that back, and you don't know how much you got. And nothing hit me until like, when my, I don't know, when my dad died. When my dad died, that like really opened my eyes. That's why I'm in San Francisco. It was like, I just divorced my first wife, and my pop died. And this was when I was 30. And I just said, you know what? I need to go live life. That's what my dad told me to do. So I followed his advice and moved up to San Francisco on a fucking whim. And that's kind of how, I came up here to be with Melissa, but it was like not super well thought out. It was like, fuck it, I'm going, and been up here ever since. And Melissa was ballsier about it. She moved up here We had broken up for like when we dated in high school, but I was always like the in between boyfriend. I mean, I was never one she could get serious with because I was way too drugged out and fucking crazy, robbing and stealing, doing all that criminal shit. And she broke up with me for like the eighth time, and she's like, "I'm moving to San Francisco." She moved to San Francisco with $150, and she's been up here ever since 1991. And it was a good time to come up here because like it was still devastated from the earthquake, so everything was cheap. Yeah, nothing worse than wondering what could have been, right? Uh, those who try the most fail the most. I mean, failure is at least you're trying, you know? Yeah, didn't you say the business isn't that great right now? Also, you're going to focus on collectibles? Yes, I'm going to focus on collectibles, and essentially the shop is going to be supplemental income so I can do the channel more. They're gonna be a balancing act. Now, the focus will actually be my channel. That's kind of different from what I was going to start with, but yeah, so we get the comic shop. It'll be open 5 to 6 hours a day. We're going to have a little studio in there, so we'll do some stuff from there. We're still going to do the stuff we do now. Not nothing's really going to change. Lots of live streams, reaction videos, bitching about Star Trek, praising the expanse. Yeah, I mean, you're just going to get more of it. That's all. And you'll be able to get a little more Dennis. The reason Dennis gets like, tonight Dennis has to go to bed early. He has to wake up at ass 30 in the morning. So we couldn't go too late, especially because he's got like he's got the county coming into his work, some county supervisor or something coming in. He got a big deal, so he couldn't do it. So this will allow Dennis to do some more stuff too, because we'll be doing stuff earlier. And the more stuff I can do, I can have more guests on, you know. I'm really trying to get Darick Robertson. All right. So I talked to him today, and I'm going to hound him to get on because there's people you guys need to talk. So Darick, if you're not aware, again, I talked to him before. He's a comic book artist. He's a very good friend of mine. He's super fucking talented. God damn, he's good. Self-taught artist. And one of the best talkers in the business. Once you hear him, you'll know what I mean. Like he should have his own channel. I don't know why he doesn't. Super passionate, fun guy. Me and mom have seen 2 cigar-shaped UFOs in 1976 for real. I totally believe in ghosts. I've been witness to too many things. And Belinda, I've heard that from especially on ghosts, the majority of people. I mean, ghosts are the thing that most people have seen. And UFOs are real. I mean, come on, they're real. I mean, it sucks now with drones and special effects being better than ever. You almost have to rely on the older footage, and it makes you go back and look at some of those 50s. Some of that shit is amazing. Like that's real. Are the Close Encounter style UFOs peaceful or violent? Please ask Matt Vermillion. It's both, Matt. I think there's some who are here to observe, and there's no way somebody wouldn't want our resources. Think about it. So I think if I want to really go down that rabbit hole, I think it's a balancing act, and I think we are being possibly protected, or we're just so goddamn far away from each other that all we're getting right now is scouts. Do I think they have made contact with the government? Yes, I do. I truly do. Now, what started my belief in it? I have a relative who worked he was in intelligence and told me they're real. So I believe him. And also my ex-father-in-law, who was a pilot, absolutely said they're real. He flew thousands of hours and said he saw shit all the time. And he said pretty much every airline pilot has seen a UFO. My family moved into my new house. My black lass was sleeping with me. I was the only one on the first floor. My dog started growling, scared as shit. Hair was standing up on him. Ooh. Ugh. Yeah, yeah. If your dog starts barking at something, believe it. I miss when you could just say "F it" and just take off for something new. Yeah. That this is my last opportunity to do that. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Trying to get back to what Mike's story. Okay, there it goes. Okay, we heard something shuffling their feet. We heard someone shuffling their feet on the floor. I went in, couldn't find anyone. See, that's even worse. To Star Wars, Ralph McQuarrie was the main guy on Star Wars. If you look at his paintings, he made all the visuals. Lucas told him things like draw a bar with aliens and draw a city with clouds. Mako, you're right. That's one of the few Star Wars collectibles I will never get rid of is the Ralph McQuarrie portfolios. They're wonderful. Slurmy Scott, I finally saw Solo on Amazon. Wondered if it could really be as bad as everyone says. Yes, it is. Fassbender, yes, Michael Fassbender. I'm catching up to the chat. Um, you can feel the energy and the proximity of an alien UFO, kind of like a creepy feeling, but mixed with the energy of a thunderstorm. Seen them clear and know for sure what I witnessed. Well, there's also the Phoenix Lights. The Phoenix Lights one, that was some real shit. There's no way the flare thing is bullshit, especially when they dug deeper and you found out it wasn't just the flares. They had thousands and thousands and thousands of witnesses who said the same thing, that this giant black triangle flew over Phoenix, blocked out the stars. Yeah, so I don't think it was there's a great documentary called I Know What I Saw. It's on Netflix. It's good. It's about the Phoenix Lights. New Creed trailer got me hyped a little, but no Vince DiCola doing the score, which is a shame. That's a bummer. I liked Creed. What do I think about James McAvoy wanting to play young Picard? Says Kevin Bates. If Alex Kurtzman is not involved at all, sure. Um, but no, if it's Kurtzman, it's CBS. No, I don't think any actor can save that writing. When my dad was a kid, he'd see a shadow figure walk up and stand at the top of the stairs and stare at him while he lay in his bed. One night, he didn't stop at the stairs and walked into his doorway. The shadow people, sports nihilist shadow. Yes, Art Bell used to talk about the shadow people all the time. Transdimensional or ghosts? How's your father? Yes, I would. Would I carry Jawbreakers? Yes, I would carry Jawbreakers. I will carry Cyberfrog. I will not carry comics based on somebody's political beliefs. That's bullshit. It's bigoted, and I wouldn't do it. And yes, I'm in San Francisco, and I would do it. Plus, I'd do it just to be a contrarian. Nobody's going to tell me what I can or cannot carry in my comic shop. I'll decide that. You know what? I don't carry porn or John Wayne Gacy art books, although that was a mistake. I carried one once, got a fucking ass chewing by a mom, which I probably deserved. Yeah. You know what I won't carry is a comic like Crossed. All right. That stuff is, yeah, I'll hold back with that. But Crossed is, so it's part of a comic line that's basically torture porn, and it's Avatar Press. I don't carry any of that stuff in my, it's just pure violence for violence sake. And some people are into it, and I would order it for my customer, but I would never, ever, ever put it on the shelf in my comic shop. That's where I draw the line. I hope you get Ryan Johnson on. Him and Alex Kurtzman and Goldsman are my top three. If we can get all three of them in one place, and then I don't want nothing violent. Can we like maybe just go, what's your price to walk away, and just go fund me like the amount to get them to walk away? I'd be behind that. Has there ever been a season finale like season 1 of Lost, minutes with no sound, and it wrapped up the entire season and left on a cliffhanger? I don't know. I'm trying to think. Watch the end of season 1 of Counterpart. That was some good shit. Yeah, Ian Batchelor here in the UK is Ghost Central with so many old buildings and places. Yep. So I loved about. Oh, I can't wait to go back. I can't wait. We were just talking about that tonight, Ian. Next year, Paris in the UK. Nihilist Mars needs women. No, I don't buy the resources theory, Gary. Sorry. Yeah, because nobody wants water or anything. You don't have to buy it, Mako. I ain't selling it. I'm just saying it's a theory, an alien theory. I mean, maybe that we, oh, well, we have the human resource too, because a lot of humans end up missing as well. So depends on what we're calling resources, Mako. My pals, was a tail gunner in a Wellington bomber during World War II, and he reckoned he had seen loads of strange stuff during this time, the bombing raids. Yeah, the Foo Fighters. Dude, there's actual pictures of those. By the way, I did not know they were out there. There's quite a lot of stuff they don't let the general public know about. Pretty plausible the government would keep a tight lid on anything that could potentially cause panic. Anything that can break down society. Yep. Because it goes way beyond panic. It goes into think about what Hitchhiker says. Does it really, cosmically speaking, matter if I don't get up and go to work tomorrow? And the answer is no, it doesn't. And that's what they're more worried about. I mean, not people going, it'd be people just like thinking a lot bigger. And that would disrupt society greatly. You'd start having a contemplative society. And yes, you'd have your share of people panicking. You'd have some, people completely freaking out. You'd have people going about their day going, yep, there's aliens. Okay, next. That's me. Yeah, I'm going to wrap things up here. There's a lot of you in here. You guys are awesome. So I'm going to keep this up for, holy shit, 64 people. All right, so I'm going to keep this up for 24 hours, and then I'm going to move it to the website. So if you want to watch it back, it'll be at nerdrotic.com after 24 hours. I'll basically pull it right before 8 o'clock podcast starts. I'll try to find a way. In the future, I'm going to I got the OBS thing so we can make sure the chat gets saved. I got to find a way to save the chat. There might be a way. It's very important on these. I all of a sudden want to watch Close Encounters. Oh, look, a Secure Team video just came up too. Which is it? It says creepy. Does anyone see a pattern here? It's already got 17,000 views. That guy is fucking killing it, man. 1.8 million subscribers. Good for him. I'm glad you don't carry Crossed. Yeah, Nurkish reviewed an issue of Cross. Very what the fuck. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's basically, let's see how far we can push free speech. And by God, yeah, it absolutely should exist. And if customers have requested it, I would absolutely give it to them. I just would not put it on my shelf. So yes, it should exist. No, I would not carry it. My dad told me someone he worked with about his shadow ghost, and she gave him a book about the shadow people being people from the future. He said their description in the book was exactly what he saw. Cool. What's the name of the book now, The Shadow? Throw in a comment if we don't, because I got to kind of wrap up things here. Get a little tired. You go, Gary. Thank you for keeping me company while I finish up my initial orders. Kill me now. No, I don't want to kill you now. The best chat ever. Good night and sweet dreams to you as well, Belinda. Did you make strange things out of mashed potatoes? David Hill. I will. Yes. I love Close Encounters. I dig that movie. Good night, Ken Jack Ben. Two theories about UFOs. Instead, they are from another planet. They are here before us, left, and now back. And they are us or the next civilization from the future. Oh, wow. Bishop Pax, you just bended my brain, man. You bent my brain, bended my brain. See, it's late. Okay. It's time to go, folks. So thank you again for keeping me company and hanging out with me during this big announcement. I will repeat it before we go. Bailed Tesla, going to be starting a comic store. But I can't till December, so I'll be working on that. And until then, it's all about the Nerdrotic channel. I'll be going to visit some cons too. But yeah, Doors and Corners, everybody, please look out for a recorded Expanse video tomorrow. And of course, Friday Night Tights is tomorrow night with Susan and Dennis. Venture Brothers as well. Don't forget the Venture Brothers. That's going to be at 6 tomorrow. So y'all get some sleep. Thanks for keeping me company. You are all wonderful. Have a great night. Please subscribe to all members of the Tribunal if you haven't already, which is Overlord DVD, Mecha Random 42, and Midnight's Edge After Dark. And may the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Cheers.